Welcome, welcome. Good morning, you guys. It is Friday. Excuse me. So good to see you guys. Jump on in. It is the end of the week. How are you feeling? How did this week go for you? I'd love to know. Today is the last day of the 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge so that you can freaking finally lose weight in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. So did I have ice cream for breakfast? Why, yes, I did. A version. Okay, so today in the group, what we're going to do, today is recipe day. So every month, if you do not know, we go through 5 days of a reset for your insulin resistance. Like every single month. Has been our 21st one. Very, very exciting. And we are going to do like these little cottage cheese. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Cottage cheese, strawberry, chocolate covered ice cream, like little balls. I think you're going to be surprised. Okay, so we're doing that for Valentine's Day. So it's coming up very quickly, right? And we all know that the holidays aren't going to stop. The reasons to celebrate aren't going to stop. All of these things aren't going to stop. We're going to keep on, like, it's going to happen no matter what. Christmas is not the only season. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. Jump on in from the balcony if you're on TikTok. Please, if you feel like this is information that other people need to hear, share it out, like it, do all the things. Double tap on the screen if you're on TikTok. It's how it gets out into the FYP. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 8 insulin-resistant myths that are actually keeping you stuck, because I want you to be able to take your health back. And I'll tell you why this is the conversation today. So every day at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we come right here. Okay, we're right here on my socials. So we're Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, all the things, okay? My dad died of type 2 diabetes when he was 63. And for a very long time, I did nothing about my own insulin resistance, okay? And like, for instance, I was gestational at 22 and I didn't do anything until I was almost 50. So there's a long span in between, right? And when I began to finally deal with my own insulin resistance, it's only because my mother, who has now since passed, she passed 2 years ago at 94, she was bugging me like crazy pants about my sugars. Kirsten, like, okay, seriously, your dad died when you were 30. Type 2 diabetes. He was only 63. Do you even go to the doctor? Get my mic closer to me. Do you even go to the doctor to get your sugars checked? Do you even know where your sugars are at? Like, what's wrong with you? She could see my weight rising in my 40s, right? I mean, it was already not great in my 30s. But when I entered my 50s and I'm a 2X, it's time to do something, right? So I'm so grateful that she was a pain in the tuchus. I'm so thankful. But I wasn't ready to take extreme action yet. This is all the reason why I'm talking about this today. 8 myths of insulin resistance that keep you stuck. Okay. And this is meant to be an empowering conversation. Like, I want to empower you to take back your health. Okay. So I enter my 50s and I'm like, yeah, I'm Italian and I'm pretty much not going to trade out my foods. It's not going to be what I do. So I'm going to supplement instead. Tell my mom that it was actually right at my upper 40s. And I said, Mom, I'm taking, because she was bugging me. She's driving me nuts. Thank God, that woman. And I said, look, Mom, I'm taking some supplements. And she was like, okay, that's nice, right? When it started to work for me, okay, started to simmer down my cravings and my appetite, and my symptoms started to turn back. I started to be able to finally lose weight. Because when your insulin is high, listen up, if this is all you hear before you scroll, if you have high insulin in your body, you cannot burn fat and you are stuck. Okay. And then the other, like, for free tip that I'll give you is that if your liver is tired and toxic, you also can't burn fat. Okay. So those are 2 things to take care of. All right. Moving on. So I'm supplementing, and I'm noticing that I am having symptoms begin to subside, yada, yada, yada. I start sharing locally, just with people that I knew that needed some help or whatever. And I'm getting really good results. Do you know that it took me a very, very long time to come on and talk on social media about my story and about the stories that I was collecting from other people, because I had imposter syndrome big time. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a naturopath. And I worked with a naturopath. Good morning, Magda. I worked with a naturopath, but I don't have letters after my name. And I also am the only one in my family that avoided type 2 diabetes. So I really felt like, well, if I don't have type 2, how can I talk about this? And I thought, oh my gosh, that's my story. My story is actually that I avoided it. I'm the only one, including my Swedish mother, who should have never been type 2 and dementia, because that's type 3. Okay, moving on. That's another conversation, right, for another day. And that's what I thought. And I thought, if I'm feeling this way, then so are you. I don't mean about talking about it, but I mean about taking back your health. We are so indoctrinated to believe that we can't do anything for ourselves, that we have to find somebody with letters after their name in order for us to just take simple steps. I can't make any guarantees. I would never do that. Okay. But what I will do is I will say, listen, I have this portal of testimonies of people who have brought down their sugars, their insulin, they've lost weight. They have finally, after 3 years with doctors, after 3 years, whatever, 3 or 4 different endocrinologists, after, like, and it's not because I'm special, and it's not because I have magical answers. It's because this is for all of us. We have to have a place where we can gather and we can collect our information and say, listen, I know that what they were telling me wasn't right, because it wasn't giving me the results that I wanted. And so I'm just here to be the person to prompt you. I have not, all of the meds that people have gotten off of connected to me, I didn't have anything to do with that. You are doing that for yourself. You are assessing yourself. I'm not walking you through getting off of meds, but you're telling me that you are. Anti-anxiety, HBP, hold on, something for fibromyalgia. Somebody got off of, just that was recent, last month. What else? STATINSs. There's others, but I don't want to just like try to guess. I want things to be really like authentic in that way. You are doing that because you can take control of your own health. So let's talk about the myths that are out there that are keeping us stuck, because this is a real universe that we live in, where we have all of these thoughts and like it's noisy. I always think about the pixelation, like in what is it? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where all the pixels go up into the air above your head. That's the noise that's out there. It's all the pixelation. It's very noisy. We have so much content. We have so much video. We have so much information. We have so many programs. I talk to a lot of you in my inbox about all the different things that you're trying and whatever. And the truth is that if it's not working, it's okay. Let's just shift the way that you're viewing your weight loss through. Let's shift the way that you're actually taking ground for your sugars and your insulin. Okay. So Phyllis says she's out shopping. You're getting me on replay. Have a great weekend. See you later, Phyllis. Have a great day. Debbie, watching to learn. Oh, I'm so glad, Debbie. Let's do it. Let's do it. And again, if you're on TikTok, thank you. Thank you for coming in from the balcony. Thank you for tapping on the screen. Thank you for sharing the information, because this is extremely beneficial. There was just something that triggered me yesterday to get very riled up, to double down on empowering you to take back your health. That's what we're going to do today. Okay. So happy Friday. Let's go. All right. You just have no idea sometimes the conversations I'm having in my back universe. I'm just done. I am so done watching people stay sick and medicated and obese and lack of function and frustrated and not being able to create memories for themselves and not be able to do the things that they want to do, all because they think that they have to chase medical providers. I am not saying you shouldn't go to a medical provider. I am not stupid. Like, come on. Of course, we're so grateful for the science that has taught us and helped us in 2025, right? Like, come on. But what I am saying is that if something is not ringing true for you over an issue that is not a stage 4 conversation, insulin resistance, I'm not talking about all the fallout. Listen, my dad had heart surgeries and he was on kidney dialysis. I am not giving you tips and tricks on kidney dialysis. That would be stupid. I'm not a nephrologist. I'm not giving you tips and tricks on pancreatic C. That would be silly. But how many people can we intercept at the beginning stages of insulin resistance? Oh, this is what fires me up. All right. Doctors do not always test for insulin resistance properly. This is the beginning of our issues. Many rely on fasting glucose, which misses the early warning signs. So symptoms are dismissed like this: fatigue, stubborn weight, brain fog, and cravings. They get brushed off as just aging or normal. Anybody? Put in the comments if that's been you. You've been brushed off for any one of those specific kind of like symptoms, right? If we don't ask the right questions, no one else will. Learning what to look for puts the power back in our hands. Okay, so you just need to know what to look for. All right. Have you heard any of these before? Let's bust these myths, like just wide open. Let's just bust them down. Number 1, only overweight, Linda. Yes, only overweight people get insulin resistance. Not true. Thin people can have it too. It's about metabolic health, not just weight. So I do have some of you that reach out to me and you're like, I don't know, can I take those 3 supplements too? That trio, can I take those? I don't have any weight to lose. But you see what we're doing, what you and I are doing with the trio. We are doing, those are just 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. It's where I started. That's working on your cellular conversation, your internal engine conversation. This is you driving into the mechanic and lifting up your hood. This is why I don't like all the Band-Aids and the patches that a lot of programs offer us, because it's not just about adding fiber to your diet. You need to get your systems back up and running. You got to change that filter that you haven't changed for 100,000 miles. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So I do talk to you that are like, I'm already skinny and I don't even have 1 pound to lose. I obviously can't resonate with that, but I understand. This is how that goes. Myth number 2, if you're not diabetic, you don't have to worry. Insulin resistance develops years, please hear me, years before diabetes. Symptoms show up early. This is what drives me to come here every day at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. This is what drives me, because for years, and for me, it was decades, that I didn't know about insulin resistance. I never made the connection. And my insulin was high, high, high. But I didn't understand that. I wasn't showing up with high sugars. I mean, I went into surgery. They didn't tell me I had high sugars when I went in for my shoulder surgery. But one of the red flags of insulin resistance is frozen shoulder. That was me. I had been insulin resistant since I was gestational diabetic back in my early 20s. A lot of you reach out to me and say, OMG, I was gestational diabetic too. And it never really dawned on me that, I mean, you know, we kind of feel a little silly. Like, how did we not make that connection? Like, I don't know. I just wasn't thinking about it. I was just living my macaroni and cheese life, like raising my babies. I wasn't thinking, I wonder if being gestational diabetic. I just thought maybe, well, it's going to be genetic, you know, que sera, sera. That's what I was taught. If I get it, like it's going to jump on me. If I get it, because it's genetic, then I get it and I'll have to deal with it when I do it. But in the meantime, I'm going to make myself a homemade pizza. Leave me alone. That was my attitude towards the whole thing. Come to find out, OMG, like not true at all. Like there might be a component, but there was no diabetes type 2 in my mother's family anywhere, probably in her entire Swedish history for all I know. But just telling you, she ended up with type 2 in her 70s. I'm targeting it as her 70s. And then went right into dementia. Type 3. Carla, you've lost another what? You've lost another 4 pounds in the past few weeks by doing what you need to do because of your insulin resistance. You need help in lowering your triglycerides. That is really good, though. Good for you. Yeah, well, insulin resistance leads to high triglycerides. This is the problem, right? So it's not, I don't want to get too far off, but I'll just say a sentence, okay? My understanding is this, and I follow people like Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Eric Berg, Maria Emmerich, like Dr. Ben Bickman, Dr. Kiltz, right? Okay. It is not animal saturated fat that is adding the fat to your blood. It is the insulin resistance that is causing your triglycerides to rise. And because it's causing your insulin your cell is resistant, your insulin is rising. It's a fat storing hormone. It stores fat in your liver, around your pancreas, around your intestines, around your heart. This is where this is coming from. You have high insulin in your body. Okay. So by turning back your insulin resistance, that will help. But I will tell you that if you already know that you have fatty liver, et cetera, when I talk about the trio, you maybe have never, ever heard me talk about it. I'm just going to show them to you. This is where I started these supplements right here. Bring down your sugars and your insulin, help your liver to function, and then work on your visceral fat and your metabolism. That's where I started. And so I'm telling you, you can make a difference on the inside out. Okay. So I'd be more than happy to chat with you. Just jump in my messenger. I'm in my messenger all day with you guys. So if you're not diabetic, you don't have to worry. Insulin resistance develops years before diabetes. Symptoms show up early. Number 3, myth. You'll know you have insulin resistance because you'll feel different. The truth is that it can be silent. This was me for years, and it is affecting all of your hormones because insulin is a hormone, all of your hormones. Why do you think perimenopause was such a just bam? What is wrong with me? Where did she go? Why do I have so much brain fog? Why can't I multitask? Why am I so freaking exhausted? Those are the types of things because all of your hormones get affected, okay? So you can be silent for years. It's affecting your hormones, your energy, and your mood without obvious symptoms. So for you, you might just be like, dang, what is this anxiety? What? I've never been like a social anxiety person or having anxiety like under the surface, bubbling up, that type of thing, right? And you're just thinking, oh my gosh, is this what menopause is? They told me it was going to be bad. I knew it was going to be bad. But the truth is that your insulin resistance is that top, it's like that first hormone to go wonky and it's affecting all the others. So turn it back around. Okay. Turn it back around. Number 4, just eat less and exercise more and it will go away. Who has that as a slogan as their health insurance company? Does anybody know who that is? Eat less, move more. Eat less, move more. Have we not been indoctrinated enough with that? Doesn't matter what you eat, just eat less of it. Whatever you're eating, just eat less of it and move more. Come on, go, move more. Hormones, stress, and gut health play, thank you, Kristen, play a bigger role than calories alone. Okay. Oh, that's one that really ticks me off because it is everywhere in our marketing. It is everywhere. Ever since that they required companies to put calories on products or calories on food in restaurants, every single menu, every single product that you go buy, what they did was they capitalized on that and they turned all of these products into, look at all of these, here's your like trash toxic Ritz crackers in a 100-calorie package. Here are your Oreos in a 100-calorie package. Here's your, potato chips in a 100-calorie, whatever. They just took all of the trash and they put 100 calories on it. So you would think that that was wise. But it's not, because that's not what this is about. I mean, the indoctrination goes deep, you guys. It runs really deep with us. Anyway, myth number 5, eating fat makes insulin resistance worse. That's wrong. Truth is, healthy fats like avocado and olive oil actually help to regulate your blood sugar, you guys. Sugar and processed oils are the real culprits. So, animal fats, good olive oil, avocado oil, it's the seed oils that are causing high inflammation and issues. And I know it's really hard to get our heads around that one because we have vats of vegetable oil at Costco. It's so freaking cheap. And it's just because it's from crops and there's not a vegetable to be found. Again, another marketing lie that they've just tried to pass off on us. Number 6, myth. Just cutting out sugar will fix insulin resistance. While sugar is a major factor, and I do teach, like in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, I do teach grain-free and sugar-free. And today is day 5 of our 5-day insulin resistant reset so you can freaking lose weight challenge. I'm renaming it that, I swear. I like that name. And we do a recipe today. So today we're making these little ice cream balls that are dipped in chocolate for Valentine's Day. Anyway, just want you to know that. So I do teach sugar-free and I do teach grain-free and primarily legume-free, with the exception of I do eat peanuts every now and then. So blah, blah, blah. We don't need to go there. But the point is that sugar is a major factor, but your gut health, your stress, and your nutrient balance all play a role. That's why everything that I talk to you about, it's all connected. Take a needle with a thread and begin to thread every single thing that I talk to you about, whether it is supplements for your insulin resistance, whether it's resetting your gut with the gut primer, okay, whether it is helping with your visceral fat underneath. That's the dangerous fat. We talked about that all day yesterday. You can go back on the replay. We talked about the thermogenic powder that you put on your tongue, and it helps with literally targeting your waist, your belly, and your hips. But the reason why I'm telling you that is because insulin resistance is just out there in your body creating leaky gut, like leaky gut, leaky gut, leaky gut. But nobody's telling you that it's contributing to that. And so you're like spilling all of your nutrients into your bloodstream. You're just like spilling, leaky gut. And these nutritional deficiencies are just rising up in your body and they are wreaking havoc. And they are showing up in blood sugars that can't be controlled or insulin that can't be brought down or whatever, because there are holes that need to get plugged up. This is my own layman understanding, right? This is not scientific information. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am for entertainment purposes only. But there are like these holes in a sinking ship that need to get plugged up. And so that's one of the things that a gut primer will do for you. Is it will help you with nutrient absorption. You've got to get your absorption going back again, okay? Because it's a major factor. And yes, cut out sugar and cut out grains, but there are other things. Gut, you got to deal with your stress. You got to get your nutrient balance. Take that needle and that thread and start just connecting them all. I understand. I get it. You've gone to one doctor for this and 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 one doctor for this. And they all gave you a script, and I understand. And some of them told you they didn't know. And some of them told you they couldn't help you. And some of them gave you bad advice. And some of them told you just to take another script or up a dose. And again, I understand that sounds like I'm really against the providers. I'm not. But this is not a stage 4 conversation. This is insulin resistance, you guys. You can turn this back. It's my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not a doctor. But then go follow people who are doctors. Go follow people. Okay? Take the time. So Number 7 is it only affects your blood sugar. Oh, wow. That one is so not true. It is linked to hormone imbalances. Girls, ladies, come a little closer. Sometimes this is why we are just, God, I just know. I literally can close my eyes and I can see you. I can see you in your universe. And this is just because I know where I have walked through this whole thing. You feel very alone. You feel in your head. You wake up thinking about your size or your weight. You go to sleep thinking about your size or your weight. You're being hard on yourself because you have been told that this is all about eating less and moving more. And so because you can't find it in yourself to maybe eat less or trade out an ingredient, you are just being mean to yourself on a fairly regular basis. For those of you that are overweight, you think it's all about self-control and your ability or your inability to deal with your own weight. And what happens then is you just feel alone and you kind of like close yourself off even just a little bit more. Maybe you go out and you buy a new outfit just to make you feel a little better for the moment. But you know that you are feeling like I've tried everything. There's no possible way for me to get a hold on this. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to resign myself to this is the way it is. And I'm going to learn how to be happy forever where I am right now. Because I don't see a path. I can't see a path. I can't see a direction that actually will give me any results. And you know what? I'm just tired of going to the doctor and being shamed. So I'm just going to ride this out. Maybe I'll be lucky enough. Something will come my way. Maybe I'll be lucky enough. I so understand that. But your hormone imbalances being like triggered by your insulin resistance, this is a real thing. So here you are thinking, not only am I fat. Now, this is not for everybody. You have to understand where this comes from for myself, okay? I was a 2X when I entered my 50s. So not only am I fat, but my anxiety is really like, that's curious. But then also, I can't like think straight. And this is very unnerving. Like, I don't want people to know. And I used to say it to my husband all the time, and God bless that man. You know that it's really hard on men when we go through menopause, right? Because sometimes we become crazy people. We don't mean to be, but we don't know how to get out of the spin. We just don't know. And so I used to always say to him, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I can't multitask. I can't think straight. I can't remember things. I can't like if this is what it's like to get old and I'm only 50, like, what are we doing? Right? Like, where's my life? I thought I was going to raise my kids and then enjoy my life. Why did I raise my kids for this? I mean, it's kind of where we're at, right? And he used to just say, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure I was driving him absolutely bonkers, but you feel like you've lost your footing. Well, it's linked to hormonal imbalances and menopause symptoms and brain fog and inflammation. Insulin resistance. Has your provider told you that recently, that your insulin resistance is causing your hormonal imbalances and making you a little cray-cray? Anybody? You tell me. I'd love to know who that doctor is and where they are. Maybe there are some. Probably not very many. Instead, we're told, listen, it's just age. Honey, it's just your age. You're just getting older. Or you know what? Here's an anti-sadness little pill. Just take this. Just take this. And then come back and we'll make sure your dose is good. I mean, honestly, these are not real answers. That's what is so frustrating for so many of us, right? The last one is, if my doctor didn't mention insulin resistance, I must be fine. Truth, many standard tests miss early signs. Getting a fasting insulin test can be a game changer. Okay, I'm going to go through these speed round. Number 1, only overweight people can get insulin resistance. Not true. Number 2, if you're not diabetic, you don't have to worry. Not true. Number 3, you'll know if you have insulin resistance because you will feel different. Not true. Number 4, just eat less and exercise more. It'll go away. Number 5, eating fat makes insulin resistance worse. Not when it's good fat. Number 6, just cutting out sugar will fix insulin resistance. Number 7, it only affects blood sugar. Not true. Number 8, if my doctor didn't mention insulin resistance, I must be fine. Not necessarily. Many standards are missing those early signs. Okay. I hope that maybe you saw some of where your brain is. Thank you, Kristen. Some of where your brain is in understanding these myths that are around us, and they are everywhere. You guys, they are in the advertising, they are in the marketing, they're coming from our provider, they are coming from our best friend down the street, they're coming from, oh my stars, happy Friday. Oh, that was so cool. Oh, I should have gotten a screenshot of that. That was super cool. Thank you so much. It was a big happy Friday on TikTok. Man, that was fun. Okay. You guys you're very nice, Kristen. You're very nice. So the call to action is to take back your health. The call to action is you can be your own advocate. The call to action is just pull away from all of the noise that is coming at you all day, every day, because otherwise you will feel very unempowered, lack of being empowered to move forward. And that's just not true. Oh man, come on. I had somebody since the beginning of the year, somebody has told me that not diabetic has been put into her chart. Somebody else has told me that they lost 28 pounds since August 28th, and she's 74 years old, and she's keeping up with 25-year-olds. Somebody else has told, and she's off of one of her cardiologist took her off of a med. Not me, because I'm not a doctor, but her cardiologist took her off of a med because her HBP is so in control. Since August 28th, come on, you guys. This is something that you can make a difference in right now. And over the next 5 months, 12 months, wow, you can gain ground and have a completely different universe. Okay. So these things really matter. So here's some tips. You don't have to have a degree in order to start paying attention to yourself. And I don't have to have a degree to tell you to start paying attention to yourself and to start assessing your life. This is where I started. I started assessing. This is where I want you to start assessing. Start tracking your symptoms. All those things that we just talked about, start tracking your symptoms. Request the right tests when you go to a provider. Ask for a fasting insulin, HOMA-IR, HOMA-IR, and your A1C. Focus on your gut health, your stress, and quality nutrition. This is everything that I've done and everything that I teach. Literally, this is my program right here. Use the right supplements to support your blood sugar balance. This is everything that I teach and offer. No one will care about your health more than you. And you do. You have to stop waiting for permission. I'm giving it to you, but don't wait for it every single time you need to take a step towards like having better health. Okay. So if you are looking for, number one, a group where you can learn about food and you are a female, we have a group called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. It's on my site, kirstenliebelt.com, or you can just search it, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Okay. Get in there. Today, we're going to do another recipe. And this is what we do all the time. I teach grain-free, sugar-free, pretty much legume-free, but I'm still a foodie. So if you want to still be a foodie and switch out your ingredients so that you can get better results, you're going to want to pay attention to that. Okay. That was our 21st challenge that we're just wrapping up right now. If you are a supplementer or you want to become a supplementer, then that's where you talk to me. Okay. This is everything that I have done for the last 10 years. So I've learned how to, because I was not a supplementer. I was not somebody I was not even taking a daily multivitamin. So I had no interest. I said this yesterday. I had no interest in having a cabinet full of supplements. you would have opened my cupboard and you would have seen Tylenol and ibuprofen. I probably even had like a stool softener or a laxative in there. Was not really taking them hardly ever, but just in case, I got constipated because I was eating such a trash diet. And then in my 30s, it was Metabolife, which was banned. But I wasn't a supplementer. So for me, I wanted to target my supplements. So if you're looking to deal with your insulin resistance, I have oodles of testimonies, oodles, not poodles, oodles of testimonies of people's sugars coming down and their insulin coming down and losing weight and getting off of meds. And that is mainly coming from, where did I put them? Oh, I dropped one. That's mainly coming from the trio. This is where I started. 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. Listen, if you need to start somewhere, this is a really good place to start, okay? 3 of these. This one you take 3 times a day. These 2 you take twice a day. And this is an internal engine conversation, a cellular conversation. This is why this is different than anything else that other programs that people are, marketing as, jazz hands or whatever. There's no band-aids in this. There's no band-aids. This is only function up. Okay. The second thing that I talk about, because you have to deal with your gut, is the gut primer. So I talk all the time about the gut primer and getting a good probiotic, because our guts are so messed up. Literally, they did studies with feces from the United States, from Tanzania, from South America, and they realized that since the 1970s, we have had like half of our bacterial species have died off. We have literally killed off pieces of our gut microbiome, and this is why it's harder for us to function. Okay? They just no longer exist. So we have a harder time functioning. So this is what it looks like. Bloated all the time. Ugh. Having a hard time digest foods. Like maybe you're just constipated. You're just like, oh my gosh, I only go every 3 to 4 days. That is so bad for your system, right? Or you might be somebody that's like, I have indigestion all the time. Like it doesn't matter what I eat. Like I'm constantly like popping Tums. My mother should have bought stock in Tums. I'm not even kidding you. She had the big thing with all the different colors and all the different flavors. And I remember like as a kid, like, oh, I'm going to try one. And it was really chalky. It was terrible. She was popping Tums like there was no tomorrow. I had zero idea, of course, that was a symptom that she needed to deal with. I had no idea, right? And so if you want to deal with your constipation, this is a really great place to start, okay? This is constipation, indigestion, liver health, oral health, metabolism. It's a primer, not a greens product, okay? So gut reset protocol is what you would ask me about. I need to know about the gut reset protocol because my gut is messed up. And then the last thing is the visceral fat. You know that she was talking about triglycerides and needing help with that. Well, this is what's happening. Triglycerides that are high is an early symptom. This is what I've been reading, that it's an early symptom of insulin resistance, because your insulin resistance, your cell is resistant. So the insulin is the fat storing hormone, and it's depositing into your liver and around your pancreas and your heart and your intestines and your stomach, etc. And that visceral fat has got to be taken care of. So if you can begin to diminish, this is like an orange pixie stick. It's a thermogenic fat burner, but it's very specific to your visceral fat underneath. So you're literally starting to shrink from the inside out. Best testimony to date is in 90 days of doing one of these a day, lost 3.5 inches here, 2 inches here, and 1 inch here. And I'm telling you, this has made such a difference in my body composition since August. I'm a little shocked. Took me a while to talk about it. But if you need any information on anything that I share, reach out to me. Get in my messenger. Be like, hey, you were talking about a fat burner. I need a cart. Trio, I need to know about that. You've got that gut reset protocol thingamajig. Could you tell me about that? I'll get customized. I spent yesterday customizing carts for people and sending them off because everybody's a little different. This is not a one size fits all the time. It's not. Everybody can benefit from everything, but why buy things that you don't need? Or why not step your way into a process? I wasn't taking anything. There's no way that I would have started with absolutely everything. I would not have had the mind to understand the benefits. I needed to take things one step at a time. That might be you. I had somebody this morning like, I'm just starting with the fat burner. I just have to have a difference before spring, summer, or whatever her reason was. I'm just going to start with that. Perfect. Every single one of them that I have used and chosen to share helps with insulin sensitivity. Every single thing I share helps with insulin sensitivity because that is what is the most important to me to share with you. I'm just telling you, it's so important to me. So you got the benefit or whatever, or my rant, the benefit of my rant today, because somebody was saying that I didn't have a right to share with you how to become your own advocate because I don't have letters after my name. And I'll tell you, nothing ticks me off more because that's the last person I want to tell me that. Not because I'm against them, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But because if we keep believing that BS, that we can't talk to each other as friends and have a cup of coffee with each other and give each other hope around turning these things around, we will stay inside of the matrix and we will stay stuck. And we will stay medicated and obese and sick. And we will not ever live out the memories that we had wanted to live out. I am here to help your 20-year future self. I'm excited about your testimony right now that you send me. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Makes me dance and happy. Okay. I mean, honestly, come on. Somebody comes and tells me that not diabetic was taken out of her chart since July. You think that doesn't make me happy? Of course it does. But I think to myself, ooh, your 20-year further down the road self, ooh, she's so excited you're doing this right now. And I want to help that version of you because it matters. It matters how you're going to interact with your grandchildren, how you're going to function through life, whether or not you're going to be able to travel, whether or not you're going to be able to stand on your feet and do the things that you want to do, whether or not somebody else has to take care of you, whether or not you will have presence of mind to be able to continue to just function, like because of dementia, etc. I know that what I'm doing is longer term effect. If you will own it for yourself, if you will become your own advocate. So that's where this all came from today. You know, I always give you content that's either coming from you or something that triggered me. Today was a trigger day. Total trigger day. Good morning, Patty. Good to see you. And that's where that came from. So doubling down on telling you guys, listen, I can help you. Doubling down. Not backing off. I'm so tired of the misinformation. And, they want to, tell us that, we can't talk about our own misinformation or whatever, or they tag whatever we say as misinformation. No. Misinformation is coming from a provider that tells you can have 45 grams of carbs at every single meal as a type 2 person. That's misinformation, in my opinion. And again, this is for entertainment purposes only. All right. You guys have a spectacular day. I'll see you Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time right here. Make sure you share out this information if you find it valuable. Make sure that you like it. Make sure you follow and subscribe and do all the things. And then at 3 o'clock today, Central Standard Time in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, I'm going to show you how to make these little keto ice cream balls that are dipped in chocolate. Hello. It's very exciting. I had one for breakfast. I'm doing the Lord's work over here for you guys. That's what I'm doing. I had to test them. I had to find out. So you're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Have such a great day, you guys. See you later.